Hi, I'm Queenie Yu with Bullet Point News. Joining me are Dolores Trentadue and Sonya Torres of the Trentadue Torres Real Estate Group. Both have over 25 years of experience in the field. Dolores and Sonya, welcome to Bullet Point News.
Hi.
How are you, Quinny?
Hi, Queenie.
Yes, Dolores
I'm
has that
great.
25 group
Oh,
chat.
well, it's a together stat. We do things with the same head,
That's
the
right.
same brain.
That's right. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. It was great seeing the both of you at the mayor's dinner yesterday.
Nice
Yeah.
seeing you too.
Yes, it was great. It was nice to
Yeah.
see so many people too. Sold out event
Yep,
and
yep, yep.
a lot of these businesses coming together and you're going to have the business awards coming up. So a lot going on in Stouffville.
Exciting.
Very much, very much.
Yeah.
COVID is
Yeah.
behind us, thank God.
I hope.
Yes. You know what? The Toronto Star recently published an article that I wanted you to comment on. So it said that the average price for a home in Stouffville was about 1.4 million in April 2023, which is up 5.1% or over 68,000 from March and up 2.5% or over 34,000 compared to April 2022. Why is the Stouffville market so volatile in comparison to other markets in and around Toronto? And it seems to rise and fall the most.
Well, I don't want to say that Stouffville is so volatile. This is really something that is seen throughout different markets, even all across North America. It's something that really started obviously at, the beginning of 2020. You started seeing things, start at a certain pace, and then all of a sudden you had March 2020 happen and prices dropped significantly,
Yeah.
obviously, because people weren't leaving their homes and showings and nobody was really thinking about selling homes, but there were people who needed to sell homes. There were people who needed a roof over their heads, and you saw such a blip of
Mm.
highs and lows, and that's exactly what we saw at the beginning of last year, where the market then just totally picked up. It went up on average 30 to 40%, and in some markets even 60 to 70%. So if you look at Stouffville, obviously the stats are the stats, but keep in mind that a lot of this is, yes, it's data and it's information from the Toronto Regional Real Estate Board, but a lot of that is a little bit skewed as well. And when we talk about, inventory needs, it's all about inventory.
Yeah, there's definitely not enough inventory.
This is what fuels the market.
Yeah, for sure. And I think right now we're seeing, buyers are coming out realizing, you know what, rates went up, but it's not that bad.
Mhm.
So I think that we're seeing that people are saying, you know what, I can honestly say I don't think there'll be a slowdown if I was to really look at it. I think if anything, it might level out. So
Mhm.
going back to the article, it is up and down, but I think overall it's pretty leveled out. I don't see big
The-
drops
and
anyways.
people were waiting for the
Drop.
big fallout,
Yeah.
and that really wasn't it happened, in my opinion, in our opinion, right after last year, that big height of the market, and that's when you started to see prices come down, and that was as interest rates went up. So again, you have the balance of the two, and then again, fear. People are the ones that determine price. It's the buyers that determine price. They're the ones that have the needs, and that next person who purchases a property, that becomes the next comp. That becomes the next comparable price. So when you see prices continuously going up, it's because there's been a last sale that has taken place that has elevated that price value. And the reason why you've seen it in the last couple months is that, this is the spring market. This is when people do want to move.
Mm.
And we see inventory at its all-time lowest, usually around the winter months, and again, for obvious reasons. And then there, again, no inventory. So as more homes start coming out for sale, there are certainly enough buyers. Pretty much everything we're selling right now is in multiple offer. You are seeing offer dates coming back, and people, again, it's not that agents don't know how to price things. Is that this is what people are accustomed to. If you price something at 1.3, then they're going to think, oh, you want 1.4, you want 1.5. So they're conditioned with the offer date. So you almost
The
have
past few years,
to
indefinitely.
to follow that. And as listing agents, we always want the most for our sellers. That's why you're hired, and you never know what that value of that person is going to be. Buyer number one and buyer number two's values may be completely different just based on their specific needs.
Yeah.
Besides the increase in prices, what other trends are you seeing within our market, and how are they impacting buyers and sellers here in Stouffville?
Well, as I
Mm.
said, the offer date, it turns some buyers off, and obviously we represent buyers as well, and it's tough. You're going in and it's like, oh, you're one like Durham right now, you're getting 20, 30, 40 offers on one
There's
property.
no inventory, comes down to that.
So yeah, and
Right.
they're pricing, right? They're under $1 million. This is something that again, there's more people that can afford it, so they're moving a little bit further east, north. Um, it's tough. So this is what you're seeing right now in today's market. Again, is the multiple offer scenario.
I would say the biggest issue in regards would be, I guess, someone putting in an offer and not having everything lined up, like they're financing, and then something falls out of place because
Not
rates go
closing.
up. Things change in 3 months. Things change in
Mhm.
1 week. And if you don't have your like you say your finger on the pulse there, you're in big trouble.
Yeah, or we see
It's
people end up buying cars and all these other
oh
things,
my
and they can't
gosh,
close.
yeah,
So to sell a property is one thing; to close it is another
that's another.
thing,
So
right?
I want 2 million. Okay, so what did your neighbor sell for? What did you got to look at the average? If they're at 1.5, you
Mhm.
want 2 million. Well, there's a gap of 500,000. The bank is not just going to say, "Oh, you're
No.
lovely. Here's 500,000." No,
No, the
they're gonna
appraisal won't come
the
through.
appraisal
So,
won't come through.
so as
Right.
much as you are seeing these increments, it's nothing where we saw it where it was 30 or 40% in 1 month. Like that
Yeah, they're
is,
being
yeah.
more cautious in lending money right now,
Mhm.
right?
And last question, besides price, are there other challenges that buyers and sellers face within the Stouffville market?
Well,
Mm.
like I said, the conditions, right? The price is one thing, but conditions are another. So closing dates, depending on what kind of conditions are put in there, sometimes closing dates don't match up. And people who have children, they want to make sure that lines with the schooling time frame. So there's a whole bunch of other factors at play.
I think the biggest challenge is finding like these kind of unique homes. We find that a little bit of land, like maybe a pool nicely done. It's very rare,
Yeah.
to get that type of home.
Hmm. Yeah. Inventory.
Yeah, custom built are not that easy to come
No,
by.
no. Yeah,
So the
these
type of home I think is the challenge, right?
and because of the slowdown of the last several years, this is why we're where we are today, right? You didn't see development happening for so long because of shutdowns. Well, there's a ramifications. It's a ripple effect. So it'll be interesting to see what 2024, 2025 brings. But the GTA is always going to hold strong.
Yeah, agreed. Which is
Great.
good news.
Dolores and Sonya, thank you so much for joining us at Bullpine News today.
You're
Thank
welcome. Thank you
you.
for
Thank
having
you for
us.
having us.